Happy hump day, everybody. So let's get to my low, my high, my act of kindness. Well, I'm sure a lot of you probably figured this out, but at least in my area, it rained a lot. Like literally on and off. Like you really thought it was over, and like, it just keeps going. And going. Like, seriously. I mean, if we keep getting weather like this, by the time it gets to Friday and I head up to Cuca Lake, I'm not going to need to water the flowers. I probably won't even need to water the flowers now. So, that's something, I guess. But I know that a lot of people can be bummed out by the rain, especially when summer really is almost over. And that's the last thing anyone needs to deal with right now. So, my low is the fact that it rained. My high is I got to watch a lot of really great acts last night. America's Got Talent. That was awesome. I'm really tired from being up that late, but whatever. And my act of kindness was, it's kind of hard for me to say this is a specific act of kindness, but I wound up taking the advice of someone that I'm not particularly a fan of, let's say. I'll just leave it at that. I mean, it was good advice, and I did wind up using it. And for the most part, it really was effective. I don't know. It's just one of those. Like, I'm glad I did take that advice, but a part of me, like, you know when you hear the advice of someone that you don't really care for, and then, like, and it winds up working, and then you're like, holy cow, that actually worked. And it came from this person of all people. This person regarded as someone that you don't care for. I mean, I don't know, it's a bit of a mixed bag. But it is what it is, and at the very end of the day, the most important thing is, you know, that advice, you know, it was effective and it worked. So, there we go. So, good morning, and I already did the opening. So, good news, I'm not going to even be talking about One Piece for a couple days, because I'm pretty sure I got out everything I needed to say on Monday and Tuesday. Specifically yesterday, which was Tuesday. So, if you're tired of me talking about One Piece, good news, that's not going to be today. But, if you're tired, actually, this is exactly the sort of thing my father would do. Where, like, if there was something that was about to happen that you may not particularly care for doing, like, dang, good news! He would do that to me all the time as I got older when it came to going to church. Hey, listen, I appreciate going to church now. That doesn't necessarily mean I always liked it, okay? But I still do go. Actually, now that I think about it, why did I? Seriously, I wound up going to church in college when I told myself I was never going to do that. And I think that's something to do with the fact, like, I was always afraid my father would have found out. Well, I mean, I always did go to church. And I guess technically a father figured it out, so there you go. Okay, so I gotta talk about America's Got Talent. So, last night, it kicked off with M++. Holy cow, that was a great show. And then, especially when you consider the fact, like, it took 12 years for that equipment to be made for this particular act. And, like, in the last 24 hours, the equipment malfunctioned. So it was a race against time to try and make sure it worked before that performance. Which, that's, the fact they were able to accomplish what they did, that's really cool. JoJo and Brie, I mean, if you don't know who the uncle and the niece, a combo. They were really adorable, well, pair. I almost called them a couple when it's uncle and niece. That'd be gross. But they're a good act. They really were. Now, the Klein twins, the Canadian hockey, the two brothers from Canada. I almost called it Canada. Seriously, why don't we call that Canada? It's Canada, but we call them Canadians. Why? Actually, who am I kidding? With how backwards the world is, we call it Canada, but then we would call them Canadians. That's just how the world would work. It totally is how the world would work. But they're the twins that use a hockey stick and puck and do all sorts of crazy tricks. They were outstanding. Ooh. Ooh. I'm like, bro, it was probably the coolest thing I've seen out of Canada since. Actually, fun fact about Canada, one of my all-time favorite shows, Ed and Eddie, that was made in Canada. So, Canada is a good place. It is. I know a lot of people make jokes about Canada, and I admit I may have made my jokes about Canada as well, but I'm not going to do that here. Canada's a nice place. Amanda, I have it in my notes below me. Mamana, that act was good. XOMG Pop, like JoJo Siwa's group or whatever, they were awesome. Nicholas Ribbs, the illusionist, that was a phenomenal act. Mia Morris, Hayden Crystal, Celia Munoz, they were all great. Funkonometry, more acts need to bring the funk. They really and truly do need to bring the funk. We like the funk. The funk is a good thing. And Sarah James, they were, all these acts were great. I mean, this really is starting to shape up to be the best season in a long time. And it's a shame that of these 11 acts, only 2 of them are going to move on. But that's how it works. I mean, in a way, I guess, they really could sort of, well, actually, no, there's a reason why they have a format like this. There is. There's lots of other shows that we want to see that are coming up. I mean, no kidding, last night I saw a new commercial for The Voice. So, I know a lot of people, my mom especially, she's looking forward to that. And again, I do like The Voice myself, but come on. The only good part about The Voice are the auditions. The auditions are great, but that's really about as far as I'll go. And I'm not the only one who thinks that either. But speaking of shows that are coming back, Masked Singer. I'm looking forward to that. That's gonna be later in September. Love the Masked Singer. That's gonna be a good. Actually, come to think of it, I think the week that America's Got Talent has their finale, that's when The Voice premieres, and that's when the Masked Singer premieres too. So that's going to be a pretty big week in television for the year. I mean, which I guess considering the timing, it's pretty good. I'll tell you why. Because with it being mid-September when that happens, it really is going to feel for a lot of people that they're in a rut. Summer's clearly on the verge of being over because, in fact, for a lot of people, summer will be over because, we have, school does exist, and you gotta do work. It's starting to get cooler outside, so there's not much of a need to be outside. the seasonal depression, that starts kicking in as well. So, in a way, having like a week like I just described, with America's Got Talent ending and the new seasons of, The Voice and The Masked Singer premiering that very same week, or within like a short time frame of each other, that's actually a good thing. A very good thing, actually. In fact, if I would need to look at a calendar up close, but if I'm reading a calendar correctly, it'll be Wednesday, obviously when The Masked Singer premieres, but that's when they're going to have the finale. That's probably when they're going to have the finale for America's Got Talent. Like, by the time all that's over, we'll already be halfway through that week, which is an even better thing. So, and it feels so strange to me I'm able to say this because, and I've talked about this before, so many times in my life, I can't tell you how much I was not looking forward to like the month of September. In fact, that's why I've always hated the month of August, because I didn't want to go back to school. But I'm not going back to school anymore. And I'm 32 years old. I earned my stripes. And by stripes, I mean my high school diploma and my college diploma. So, I did what needed to be done. And if any kids out there are watching, it's worth the wait. Don't worry. You gotta work hard. You're ready to stay in school. Actually, in a couple weeks, I am gonna need to do, at least, because I know that for a lot of people in the country, school has already started because they start in August. But every year for the last couple of years, I've been doing a sort of first day of school address when school starts in my particular area, which is the Wednesday after Labor Day. So I think so look forward to that video. I mean, it's nothing that you've never heard me say before, but I really could say, if you want any sort of advice involving surviving school, watch Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide. Seriously, that was a great show. And it still, holds up really, really well. I'd watch that show. Recess was a pretty good show involving school. Actually, come to think of it, both Recess and Ned's Declassified, even though one's for Disney and the other one's for Nickelodeon, they'd be great shows to watch back to back. I'm not kidding, they really would. I mean, I know Ned's Declassified was only 2 seasons. Actually, no. The series takes up, I think it was 4 seasons, and the series takes over the span of 2 years because it takes place in middle school, and at that time, middle school was 7th and 8th grade. Actually, I think it still is, except that, intermediate is 5th and 6th grade. I come from the generation where in elementary school was K through 6. Now it's only K through 4. Intermediate school is 5th and 6th grade. Middle school 7th and 8th, and high school is, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior year. That's when I grew up. Well, that's what it is now. But growing up, elementary school, K through 6. I still remember when I graduated elementary school too. Actually, man, it was so surreal when I finally graduated high school, just simply because, that was the only experience I legitimately had to a graduation since graduating from St. Mary Mother, which was elementary school. Middle school, we didn't get a darn thing. There wasn't even any assembly either. Nothing. Like, I get why, because, you know, middle school is only middle school, and it's not like you're going away for, you're not like leaving for college or anything. I get that. But it would have been nice to do something involving the end of middle school. Especially when, you know, I'm not going to talk about school anymore, not now. Because some kids are probably still enjoying their summer vacation. This is me talking about school. I'll be the last thing they should hear, for now anyway. But don't worry, I'm already getting prepared for the first day of school address. So look forward to that coming out. Actually, I have a few friends who are teachers as well. Some of them are avid watchers of these videos, therefore, you know, they'll be able to look forward to that too, because, you know, school has teachers, you know. Actually, I said school does have teachers, you know. That's what I said. I didn't say that properly. It sounded like I mumbled my words. That did not sound very professional. But what is professional is me always saying, I hope you liked this video, and if you did, leave a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I do my YouTube channel greatly. You know, follow me on social media. As always, I am very humble at the end of this video for all of you guys to watch and enjoy for today. And hopefully you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. And remember, from you guys want to talk or chat, I'm always going to be here to London. I'll always be back. Take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby.